You are now tuned into I Said What I Said. Don't at me. Hosted by Mac, aka your boy.
And what is up, everybody? It's Mac, aka your boy, coming at you with another episode of I Said What I Said. Do not at me. Actually, it's don't at me, but you get it. So, a lot of stuff going on this week, but I think I'm gonna start this one off taking or using my homeboy Ant Boogie, how he starts his podcast off with a kind of like a moment of positivity, if you will. So, in a sense, just trying to give an example of how doing something positive can like change either your outlook on life or somebody else's outlook on life. So, shout out to everybody who's been rocking with me. So, today I volunteered to help out with the Special Olympics here in Arizona. Is one of those things where I really love to get out there, help kids, not just kids, but just help people because I'm a people kind of person, right? So I volunteered to help officiate a game called bocce ball. Now, I've never played this. I think I've heard about it once or twice. Never really cared to learn about it. But today, I found out how to play it. Became a pretty good officiator at. Some of the coaches were kind of serious when I was measuring how close a ball was to the target ball. I forget the name of the target ball already. Yeah, they were coming at me like, you're measuring wrong. You got to measure from the target ball to the actual toss ball. The way you've been doing it the last few times is wrong. I'm just like, yo, this is the way somebody else taught me. But I apologize. I will do it that way from now on. This is my first time doing anything bocce ball related, right? So after a while, we kind of got good at it in a sense, to the point where my shift was supposed to be from 7:30 to 12, right? So the games didn't start till about 9, and the next shift of volunteers are supposed to come through at 12. But you know how volunteer stuff goes. They don't show up. So you had all these athletes, Special Olympians, wanting to participate, wanting to do, wanting to earn their medals. They wanted to play to earn their bronze, silver, or gold medals, right? So I saw that they were down some volunteers. Some of the volunteers just weren't there to. I don't know. It was a poor showing for some of the volunteers. So I stayed back and stayed till about 1:30, 2 o'clock, officiating the second half of the games, and the appreciation of the athletes and the coaches for doing that for them. Because a lot of these guys, they're driving from Lake Havasu and Tucson and things like that to come participate in these games in Phoenix. And they have to get back to Tucson because they have other things going on. So they couldn't just sit and wait for volunteers to magically appear for them. So I stayed back and officiated the second half of some of those games. And the appreciation of these guys was made it all worth it. Because, like, even though, some of them are handicapped, they still have a competitive drive and they still want to earn their medals. They don't want to be given anything, right? So seeing that, I was glad that I was a part of that and to be able to help them out and to clap and share their excitement when they're getting their medals and things like that. So just small things like that. Just half of my day doing something like that made somebody's whole year, all the practice and stuff they put into that. So that's how I'm going to start that off. I'm going to try to do that every podcast. I mean, there are days where like it'll be something as small as I pulled up the fries and saw that there were shopping carts and parking spots around where I parked at. I get them, I stack them up, I put them all in the cart holder spot in the parking lot. And people are thankful for it. Like the little cart carrying or cart corral, whatever they call the guy who goes out there and gets all those carts. Like, he's appreciative of that, man. He says thanks, and I'm like, cool, you know, no big deal. Like, I'm sorry that people suck and a cart, you know, container or whatever is like 2 spots down, but they'd rather just leave it in the parking spot, you know. Sorry that, you know, the human race is mostly dicks, but it is what it is. I do my part to kind of lessen the blow, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to talk about, or that's how I'm going to start my podcast from now on. But with that being said, Mac, a.k.a. your boy, let's get into it. I said what I said, don't at me. Now, if any of you guys have been on the interwebs this week, you would have found out that Tank, the R&B singer, has come under some scrutiny, for lack of a better word, for an interview he did on Angela Yee from The Breakfast Club. She has a podcast entitled Lip Service, right? So your boy ended up telling on himself in so many ways. So this dude is on a podcast, Lip Service. That's the name of her podcast. And there's 4 other females on there and him. So he's the only dude there, right? And like right off the bat, these females start talking about how men can't forgive women for cheating, but women are supposed to forgive men for cheating. And of course, he's an R&B singer, so he's going to be like in tune with the women, like men just are, you know, some weird shit, right? Like he's just trying to do. Plus, he has an album coming out. I think it dropped today. So he's doing his best to try to win over the female audience and all this other stuff, right? So, I mean, they're talking about some random stuff. They're just like, you know, Tank, how do you eat pussy? Are you a sloppy pussy eater? And when a girl goes down on you, do you like her to like all this other stuff, right? So I'm just like, man, you on here doing the most, Tank. Like, just come on the show, talk about your album. You know, if they ask you questions about dudes, don't try to answer for all dudes. I mean, it's one of those things, like, cut it out, man. Like, if you really want to see how he's doing too much, you can just YouTube Tank on Loop Service or whatnot. But so then the convo switches, and one of the co-hosts talks about an ex-boyfriend or a partner she had who lied, who was a habitual liar, like lied a couple times, and now she's like, yo, so if this dude lies repeatedly, or like I think the story was he lied twice to her, and Tank was like, yo, so just because he lied twice doesn't make him a liar, right? And his defense of that was, I performed construction work a couple of times in my life. Because I did construction work those 2 times, I don't go around introducing myself as a construction worker. And at that point, I'm just like, kind of a reach, but I see what you're talking about, Tank, right? So then the host, Angela Yee, hits him with the, all right, so let's say a guy sucked a dick one time. And then she asked that question, Tank is like, Jesus Christ. Literally, like, Jesus Christ. Like, why did this go to this extreme? But anyway, so Tank is sitting there. He's listening to the question. He lets her finish. And she's like, so say the dude sucks dick one time. And then he sucks dick again. So twice. So the dude sucks dick 2 times. Does that make him gay? Right? So I have the soundbite queued up, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and I'm gonna let you come to your decision on what you think. And after it, I'm gonna let you know how I took it. And I even queried some of my coworkers and stuff, because it was a serious thought. Like it gets into a deeper meaning for me, or a thing. I don't know, but yeah, just listen.
He did.
He sucked the once, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I'm not sure if I liked it or not.
Let me try it again.
Let me try it again. And then he says, you know what? It's not for me. Don't like the taste. You see what I'm saying? So
don't like the taste.
We're not talking about chicken. We talking about chicken.
Well, you know what?
In his jaw.
How you made a bar out of chicken and
Because
chicken.
she's an artist at heart. Yeah. It's natural. It comes natural.
But it doesn't mean he's gay. It means he sucked once.
Okay. So, just for the sake of your argument, that's okay.
Let's dig into it, right?
He did.
He sucked the once, right? And then he's like, I'm not sure if I liked it or not.
Let
You
me
know what I'm
try
saying?
it again.
Let me try it again. And then he says, you know what? It's not for me. Don't like the taste. You see what I'm saying?
Don't like the taste.
We're not talking about chicken. We talking about chicken.
Well, you know what?
In his
Chicken
mouth.
sandwich
So how
in his
you-
jaw.
How you made a bar out of chicken and
Because
dick
she's
in
an
it.
what I
artist
did.
at heart. Yeah. It's natural. It comes natural.
But it doesn't mean he's gay. It means he sucked once.
Okay. So, just for the sake of your argument, that's okay.
Let's dig into it, right? Okay.
All right. So I played it twice for you guys. I'm not sure. When I first heard that, bruh. The way he was explaining that, like, the dude does it once, and then he's not sure if it's for him or not. So he does it again. What he say? He's not sure if he likes the taste. Now, I have never performed oral sex on a dude. I would assume that dick all tastes the same. Like, I don't know if there's different flavors of it. Like, like, I don't know, like, if you know, you suck a white dick, does it taste like vanilla? And then a black dick tastes like chocolate? And then, like, a light-skinned dude, like, tastes like caramel? Like, I don't... Like, so many things come into play. Like, did this dude attempt to, on his second attempt of dick sucking, did he try a different dick? Because if he wasn't sure if he liked the taste or not, wouldn't you taste the same thing again? I.e., a piece of cheesecake, right? Somebody makes a cheesecake, I get a slice, I bite into it. It's kind of odd. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, let me get another bite to make sure that it really is just terrible, right? So it would have to be the same thing, right? You just can't try a cheesecake at one place and then try it at another place and then be like, oh yeah, you know, like, cheesecake is for me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what he did. I don't know. But I would assume that penis is penis and it has its own flavor, right? It's not like, you know, when you're a kid and like candy would, every now and then they would have a thing where it'd be like, you know, mystery flavor, and it'd be like a white candy, right? It wouldn't have a color to tell you, to kind of give you a hint of what the flavor is. Like Airheads would do that. It'd be like a white Airhead, and it'd be like, guess the flavor, and you can win, you know, a scooter or a Skip It. That's how old I am. Skip It. Look it up. But, you know, like when you're a kid and you bite into it, you're like, I think it may be tropical punch. I don't know. Maybe it's just regular fruit punch. No, I think it's strawberry. I don't know. Let me try again. You know, it's not that, because it's not a mystery. You are holding the you are holding the flavor in your hand. Like, you look at it, be like, no homo. But yo, you just, like, it's dick. Like, it's not like one dick tastes better than the other. Like, did this dude just finish working out and you did that and you're like, I don't like the taste of that. It's salty. Let me find a dude who showered and see if I like it. I don't like that body wash. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that twice? And then after the second time, be like, you know what? This ain't for me. Because how I looked at it, I was at work and I was asking around. And I was trying to give him a chance. I was trying to walk the dog down his line of thought. And I'm just like, so a husband or a boyfriend, you know, performs the act on a random dude, right? He it goes through this whole awkward thing where he asks some dude, I don't know if it's a friend or a stranger, hey, I've been wanting to try this out. Let me try this out, right? So he does it, and then in the middle of it, he's like, I don't know. I probably shouldn't be doing this. Or the way Tank made it sound like, hey, I don't know if this is good or not. Like, so, like, is there time in between the first event and the second event? Is there another person? Or does he come back to the same person? The bottom line is, so he does it again. And then the second time, like, he's just like, nope, that's not for me. Like, does he stop halfway through? Like, is he like probably about 5 bobs into it, gets up and he's just like, you know what, buddy? Sorry I got you here, but this ain't for me. You know, gets in the car and starts driving home to his wife or his girlfriend and is feeling proud of himself because he can say, you know what, baby? Guess what? I thought I was gay. I performed oral sex not once, but twice. And it occurred to me as I was doing it the second time that it is not for me. So guess what, baby? I'm straight. Now, I don't know how you guys' spouses would be, but I'm sure mine would have questions, and the question would probably be, how soon are you getting your shit and getting out the house type stuff. Because my wife is an understanding person. One of the most understanding and thoughtful people I know. But if I came home with that rationale, like, I think that would be it. I think she would just be like how Papa would say, that's all I can stands. I can't stands no more. Like, you can't come home and announce that and be proud of that. Like, babe, I just had to make sure. You can't be mad because I just wanted to make sure, because if it turned out that I did like it, I would have to come home and tell you that, hey, I'm gay and I'm leaving you. But since I don't like it, we can stay together forever. Like, who? What rationale is that? You cannot do that, right? So that leads me to my second thing, right? So say you did that twice, and then you're like, no, it's not for me, and you go home and you stay with your woman, and you guys move on happily ever after. Like, are you a bisexual because you tried sex with the same sex once, twice, apparently? Not sexual intercourse, but oral sex, right? You were turned on to a point where you tried it not once, but twice, and then just went to be with a woman, right? So I asked that question at work to both some females and males. Like, so say this is a thing. Like, it is so easy for society to look at females when a female's like, oh, I'm bisexual, right? And for people to be like, okay, that's cool. You like men and women, right? But if a dude came out and was like, oh, I'm bisexual, us as men, for some reason, just automatically go to the side of, oh, nah, you gay, right? And I feel like I'm guilty of doing that, right? And I don't know why. And, like, I'm admitting it. Like, it's probably not right. But that's my mindset when it comes to something like that, is because I don't think you can fully just be like, I'm not gay, I'm heterosexual. Like, you're not, because you did this, right? You're bisexual. Like, all intents and purposes, you're bisexual. But us as men, I feel, and I may be wrong, I don't mean to categorize everybody in my shallow thinking, but I feel like you're gay. Like, and then I had some coworkers be like, you're a little bit gay, right? And let me just be clear. I can care less what anybody's sexual orientation is, because just like a man and a woman can be friends, as long as nothing unwanted sexually is done by either partner, it's cool. Like I have gay friends, right? And I'm not hanging out with them in fear of one day that they'll just be like, yo, Will, let me, suck your dick. Because if that did happen, our friendship would probably be over, right? And I mean, it is what it is. But because my friends have boundaries and because my gay friends have certain types that I'm pretty sure I don't fall into, everything is cool. Like we can coexist. And it's sad that men as a whole kind of, when they find out, I guess, their friend or somebody is gay, like they let that affect the friendship or whatnot. I will say the biggest crime or the biggest example of that is the military and even sports in a sense, right? Because let's say that don't ask, don't tell got repealed or whatnot. So now homosexuals, gays, lesbians can just serve just like everybody else, right? They can go out there, they can fight, put their life on the line just like everybody else, earn the same pay. Cool, I'm down with that because, not everybody is signing up to do this stuff, right? So, but a lot of people were upset because now they're just like, oh, I can't deploy with this guy because we share the showers. What if this guy, lust after me and stuff? Get over yourself, man. Like, this dude is not attracted to you. Like, why do you think just because a dude is gay that he is just trying to find any man out there? Like, it is just like any heterosexual person. You have a type. Just because a woman likes men, she's not after every man that she sees and vice versa. So why would you just assume a gay man is just after your ass like he can't do better? Because chances are he's probably doing better than what you got to offer the dude, right? And then when it comes to sports, who is the guy? Michael Sam, right? When he played college at Missouri, he's sitting there winning SEC Defensive Player of the Year, all this stuff. The draft's coming up, and before the draft, he came out and was like, yo, I'm gay. So now here he is getting drafted second to last on a practice squad. I don't think he was getting many reps. I know people were speaking out like, yo, I can't shower with the dude. In the NBA, I think it was Jason Collins, one of the Collins twins, either Jason or Jared, came out as gay, and then Tim Hardaway and his old retired self is like, yo, I couldn't play with him. I hate gays. Like, people are wild. Like, before that, everybody, oh, he's an awesome teammate, this, that, and the third. Oh, I'm gay. Oh, I can't play with this guy because we sharing locker rooms, and I'm scared to be naked or in a towel around this dude because he might lust after me. Like, people, like, got to get over themselves, right? Everybody think they the most sexy motherfucker in the world and shit. I don't know why, but it's not true. But I just want to know, why is that? Why, if someone was to say, yo, I'm gay, like their credibility or everything that they've accomplished would take a hit. A coworker of mine brought up this example. So everybody, I think it's not unanimous, but it is highly debatable. And if you debate me on it, I will probably win. But Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player who has ever played the game of basketball. He has 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 6-0 in the finals, just globalized the game like no other. So say he came out and said I was gay. What would happen? I, for one, believe that a lot of his shit would take a hit, right? And a lot of people would look at him differently. A lot of people probably wouldn't hold him in a certain regards. A lot of people who looked at him as a role model would probably fall out of love with him, be upset, and all this other stuff. And it's sad. It's sad that that's a thing. Like, I wouldn't think that way because I can care less who this dude went to sleep with. I just know when he was on the court, he did that work. So it was ever. I mean, he was, doing people on the court pretty much. So I mean, if that was his bag on the outside, like that, so be it. That doesn't take anything away from what he did on the court. and all the accomplishments he made. If anything, people would feel extra salty. Like, yo, this dude was gay and he was dunking on me like that. Like that dude dunked and had his nuts on my neck. Like, was he aroused? I feel violated now. Like, that's where people would go with some stuff like that. But what are you guys' thoughts on that? I just want to hear other people's opinion. Like, and then I hear that he actually, like, came back and tried to clarify what he was saying. I don't have that sound clip, but I'll probably, double back and research that before I get on here. I probably should have did that while I was watching the Lakers game tonight, but y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are on that. The whole Tank thing. Are y'all buying his excuse? His reasoning. Are you buying his rationale that a dude can do that twice and then still get up, walk away and be like, yo, I'm not gay? Like, because my thing is, like, it has never occurred to me to want to attempt to try that. But if in your mind you're like, yo, let me try this dick. Like, I feel like you've been thinking for that for a while. And your act of doing that does not make you gay. I think that probably have been gay or having those homosexual tendencies. So maybe you just weren't straight. You just didn't know what you were. You were confused, but it doesn't make you gay because, like, you just don't turn gay. You're just not like girls, guys, girls. Like, like, so I think gay is not a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you aren't born and you don't get to a crossroad in life where you're like girls or dudes. Like, you're just attracted to who you're attracted to, right? So that's my thought on that. I don't buy his excuse. I don't think you can do that and then wake up and like, did he finish? Like, do you perform that act until, let me stop. Because I'm going to end up making myself upset thinking about this dude. But anyway, yeah, so y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Because I thought that was weird, man. You just can't, And dude's just like, yo, you good? Like, what happened? I don't know. I'm going to try it again. See if I like it. Shit, all right. Nah, you know what, buddy? This ain't for me. And you just get up and bounce, and the dude is just sitting there like, you ain't gonna finish? I mean, if you was a cool enough dude, I would take I think you helped the dude finish. Oh, Tank, what you doing out here in these streets, man? You could have just went on this show and just talked about your album and bounced. You want to be on there trying to be, the ladies, man, and talk about all this stuff, man, and exploring sexuality. And, bro, man, just talk about your album and bounce, bro. Because all of this is, like, attached to his performance at the DC Pride thing. Like, he's singing his songs, which are songs kind of letting you know, like, hey, we about to do it, or really strong love songs. Please don't go. Please don't go. Like, who you singing that to? And, like, he'll sing it, and all his performances, normally he'll do a performance, he start taking his shirt off and stuff, and ladies will start screaming and shit, right? Because that's his thing. He's an R&B singer. He makes songs for ladies, allegedly, right? But he's been a regular at the Pride shows, and he performs as if he is singing to ladies. However, at a Pride show, the ladies, a majority of the ladies who are there, I would assume, are lesbian, not into dudes, and a majority of the dudes who are there are gay and into dudes. So you start taking your shirt off, singing "Please Don't Go," "Maybe I Deserve," all this other stuff. You take your shirts off, like, the women are just like, I'm here for chicks. And then the dudes are just like, oh my God, look at this dude's arms. And they start screaming. And, like, you feel that energy, and then you start doing sexual gestures on stage and stuff. People start questioning you, Tank. And then you follow up with this interview, like, if you suck dick twice, it's cool. You're not gay. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And then the lady's like, it ain't chicken. Like, you don't like the taste, like it's dick. Like it tastes the same. Take out here wildin', you guys. Jesus. Anyway, let me move on to my next topic because that was crazy. Let's see if I have it up. Noise. So last week, or probably about a week and a half ago, I don't know if you guys have been following, but the NBA in China and all this other stuff has been going on, and I think it's kind of blown out of proportion to a bit. But then last night, I happened to see our second in command, the vice president, speaking on some things. I'll just leave it at that for the next 2 years and change, right? So I'm going to read this from CBS Sports just to kind of fill everybody in case you don't know what's going on, right? So a couple of weeks before the start of the 2019-2020 NBA regular season, the league finds itself involved in a controversy with China stemming from a now-deleted tweet from Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey. In the tweet, Morey gave a message of support to protesters in Hong Kong who are currently involved in demonstrations that began in opposition to a controversial proposed legislation. Ugh. Speak, Willie, it's English. Cool. So what he tweeted, let me find it for you. The tweet read, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong," right? And it was in response to legislation that would allow criminal suspects to be extradited from Hong Kong to mainland China, right? So now there's a lot of democratic protest in Hong Kong, and then my man was just like, "I stand with Hong Kong," right? He tweeted that, deleted it, right? So the backlash happened because the Lakers and the Nets were on a plane flying to China to play in some preliminary games, preseason games pretty much. So they're on the plane when this tweet happens. It's like a 15, 16-hour flight or something. So they have no idea what's going on, right? Shit's all crazy. They land in China, and then they receive the news on what happened. So they're just like, yo, WTF. Like, why is China mad at us? We said nothing, right? So after this tweet, of course, somebody in China saw it, and then they snitched, right? So let's see what the thing was, right? So the Chinese consulate in Houston released a statement expressing its strong dissatisfaction with Morey's tweet, stating that anybody with conscience would support the efforts made by Hong Kong Special Administrative Region to safeguard blah, 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 right? That one was boring. So this is some of the ramifications, right? The Houston Rockets could potentially lose $25 million in sponsorship boycotts due to Morey's tweets. Now, Houston Rockets are big in China because they had Yao Ming play for them, and Yao Ming is kind of running Chinese basketball leagues back in China, right? So they kind of had an in on the Chinese market, which is why they kind of have the Chinese New Year thing. The NBA as a whole, because they're tapping into the Chinese fans over there in China. So, members of the United States Congress penned an open letter to Adam Silver on October 9th, calling for the league to suspend all relationships with China until government-controlled broadcasters and government-controlled commercial sponsors end their boycott. So the government was like, yeah, don't fuck with China until China starts fucking with you again, right? Low-key trying to get an upper hand against China because, you know, like, we're not cool with China right now. So they're just like, hey, let's, you know, could be like our small joker. They love the NBA. The NBA is an American product. Boycott China until they get their act together. Like, nah, we ain't going to play that game, government. You know, we do our own thing. There's a couple of companies out there in China. I think, what is this, Anta, which sponsors players like Klay Thompson and Gordon Howard, announced it would suspend contract renewal talks with the NBA. The Lakers-Nets exhibition game in Shanghai took place. However, it was played without sponsors, and there was no media coverage before or after the game. The the Chinese Basketball Association canceled exhibition games with G League affiliates. The NBA's digital partner in China, I think it's Tencent, will suspend business relationships. Dwayne Wade's brand, Li Ning, which sponsors a handful of NBA players, announced that it would suspend business ties with the league. So forth and so on. Adam Silver, the commissioner, was like, China wanted me to fire Maury, but I'm not even going to do it because of freedom of speech, right? So after Adam Silver got up there and was just like, yo, yes, there's ramifications for what he did. The team owner, the team president may have consequences that they'll dole out to him. Me as the commissioner, I'm not getting involved in that because I firmly believe people have the right to exercise their First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, right? So China was not happy with that. He actually flew out to China to talk to the players, to have a players meeting with them to see what they want to do. Do they want to stay here and play these games? Do they want to come back to the States? Because there's a lot of shenanigans happening because of this tweet. So during the players meeting, LeBron James raises his hand. Let me see if I can find. And LeBron James kind of asked him, so are you going to punish him? Because I feel like if a player made this tweet, you would come down and there would be some significant punishment. And then Adam Silver was like, pump your brakes, because when y'all was out here wilding out, calling the president a bum, I didn't do anything, so I'll let you guys express how you felt about the president and things going on in the world, i.e. wearing the I Can't Breathe shirts for Eric Gardner, all this stuff. Like whatever the players wanted to do to express themselves and talk about current events, Adam Silver had no problem with it, which I totally agree with, So why should he punish this dude? And I think it's only because a lot of these players who are going over there, like the bench players, had sponsorships with these Chinese companies. Like these dudes are coming off the bench, not making the millions of dollars in the States from endorsements, but they're making it in China. So when they get to China, trying to renew their contracts, and the Chinese companies are just like, nah, we don't fuck with you. Little American bitch, I ain't fucking with you. You would see why they're kind of upset. Like, yo, this guy has to be fired because he just cost me millions of dollars over here in China. But again, Adam Silver's just like, hey, my man, it's his free speech or whatnot. So after a while, they went and asked LeBron James again how he felt. And this was LeBron James's comment. Quote, I think that's another situation that should stay behind closed doors. I think when we all sit back and learn from the situation that happened, understand that what you could tweet or say, we all talk about this freedom of speech, yes. We all do have freedom of speech, but at times there are ramifications for the negative that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke. And so many people could have been harmed, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and what we say and what we do. Even though, yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too. Now, LeBron tweeting that or saying that kind of makes him look like a hypocrite, right? Because a lot of people went back to his Twitter account. I think it was last year, a couple years ago. He tweeted the quote, I don't have it in front of me, by Martin Luther King, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere, or something like that, right? So it's like, does that only apply to America? Are we only allowed to talk about things going on in America? Like, do people's rights not matter overseas? Now, I understand if it is a country that you have no deal, no business getting involved with, but seeing how you are involved with China financially, how how money from China and the profit you get from selling products in China factor into how the cap space for the NBA has increased, which lets you get these super huge contracts that everybody's been getting. But you don't want people to talk about the wrong stuff going over there. But you can be over here in America, free speech and all over the place, you know. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a good look for LeBron to say that. And that's just my opinion on that. But I understand you gotta make sure your house is clean before you talk about somebody else's house. Yes, we still have things wrong in America. I wish the tweet would have been something about, how about cops stop shooting people in their house? I would have liked that tweet more than stand for Hong Kong. Because we as Americans, we're quick to try to stand for some other country. But then when somebody wants to take a stand and talk about what's wrong in this country, we blackball them out of the NFL. You know, shout out Colin Kaepernick. But it's just one of those things where Adam Silver not punishing Daryl Morey for that tweet. I agree with that because he lets players say whatever they want and not punish them for saying anything reckless. So this man just posted his support of Hong Kong's democratic whatever, and China got upset. It is what it is, right? People lose money. Cool. My money's maybe I'm just like this because my money's not affected. That's just me though. But LeBron, like I don't. That kind of came off kind of about it, right? So all that's going on, and then your boy, your vice president, Mike Pence, accuses both the NBA and the sports firm of Nike kowtowing to Beijing and muzzling the criticism of China, right? And low key, it's like one of those things where I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where, so this is one of the quotes that he said that had me like, So Nike promotes itself as a so-called social justice champion. But when it comes to Hong Kong, it prefers checking its social concerts at the door. And Nike stores in China actually removed their Houston Rockets merchandise from their shelves to join the Chinese government in protest against the Rockets. The Rockets' general managers fight for freedom. And it goes to say President Donald Trump and his administration have previously criticized Nike over the decision to support Colin Kaepernick, an American football player who controversially knelt at the U.S. anthem that was played ahead of NFL games. So I do agree with that. Like, Nike is just all, I'm here for this, Colin Kaepernick and, the women's national soccer team, how they're standing up for fair pay and all this other things. And Nike is just on the forefront of like, yes, everybody should be great. Everybody should be great. And then China comes in and is just like, yo, stop trying to stand up for people's rights over here and just, sell us shoes and stuff. And then Nike's like, cool. All right, we'll be quiet. We ain't going to stand up. I mean, it's Nike's business. That's their, it's kind of like their company. They can do what they want. A lot of this thing is bottom line factored. Money does sway people's opinions and morals, and it's sad to say, but it is what it is. I don't like how the government is trying to get involved and kind of tell the NBA in so many words what they should be doing. Props again to Adam Silver to be like, yo, with all due respect, Mr. Vice President, this is what we're going to do. If you as the government want to do some kind of legal thing to prevent us from, partnering with China, cool. But until then, we're going to just do things that are in the best interest of the company, which is to make money and still rocks with China. Adam Silver, all he does is just apologize to people who were offended by the tweet, but he is not going to punish and make a sacrificial, or he's not going to make Daryl Morey a martyr, pretty much. So Shout out to Silver for that. But it's one of those things where the players are kind of looking, they're just like, hey, you just got to understand, you can't say that. It was a bad thing. He was uneducated. Like, come on, LeBron. Stop it, right? Because there's a lot of things you be talking about in your tweets. Because being woke is, like, being woke, I think some people try to be woke because they think it's what's hot right now. Being woke. Colin Kaepernick kneeling, everybody's like, yeah, I'm boycotting the NFL. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Support black businesses, this, that, and the third. And yet, like, you're still buying shit from non-black businesses. You know, people still watch the NFL. People, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think because it's fallen out of grace, or it's not the cool thing to be right now. Colin Kaepernick is not as in as it was when he was doing it in the beginning. And I already did a whole podcast on that, but that's how I feel on that. Like, I don't know where your guys' opinions at on that, but like, if the NBA wants to keep rocking with China, cool, because it's a business, and I understand businesses to make money. Good on Adam Silver for not punishing somebody for using their freedom of speech. However, people should know that when you work with a company like me, I'm an American. Per the Constitution, I have freedom of speech. However, my job is like, if you use this freedom of speech to do anything negative that will reflect bad upon the United States Air Force, we will let you have that work. And there are some companies that'll do that because people have been fired for tweeting some reckless stuff. So there's always that there's always that consequence. Like, if you want to, like, you're not going to go to jail. Like, it is not illegal for you to speak your mind. However, your job has the right to get rid of you or to punish you in some sort of way if you do start talking reckless. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about that, what you guys' thoughts are on that. And then my final thing I wanted to talk about on here is, so Kanye West dropped an album today. He dropped Jesus is King, and it's supposed to be his gospel album. He's come to the Lord, apparently. He's been doing some Sunday services in Calabasas. He's been doing them in Chicago. Like, he's been traveling, doing Sunday services where he's playing, Christian music, gospel music, producing some things, leading some services. So I'm all right, Kanye, I see you. You went through a crazy phase or whatnot. Maybe you're still I don't know. So my anticipation for this was piqued based on a video of him leading a praise and worship service or worship song called Souls Anchored, but he sampled the melody of Genuine's So Anxious, and it was fire, dog. Let me tell you, it was... About to catch the spirit, think about it right now. If you haven't heard it, check out my YouTube channel, Mac, a.k.a. your boy, because I did a video about it. So I was looking forward to this, thinking that he would have that song on there, the Fred Hammond sample he used when he was in Calabasas on the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I was looking forward to that, but none of that was on there. It was all original songs, and it's I don't know why he's been doing this. These songs, like, I think he has like 13 tracks or something on there. I don't know. But all of the songs are short. The production is okay. The songs are nothing spectacular. And it was what I was expecting, because his last, I don't know, however many albums he's been involved with after Watch the Throne have been not good. Yeah, they just haven't been good. So I had just been expecting mediocre stuff from Kanye. So when this album dropped and it was mediocre, I was like, what do you know? Mediocrity, right? But people jump on Facebook and they are just like, yo, what is this trash Kanye put out? Like I don't know what people were expecting with this album. Like, were they expecting brilliance? Like you see this man's track record of being horrible, yet you're mad when horrible music comes from Kanye. It's like Nickelback. If they dropped another album, who's gonna buy Nickelback and be like, yo, what is this trash? Y'all knew it was gonna be trash because Nickelback puts out trash. So now everybody is just hoping for the old Kanye. Let me tell you something, people. He ain't coming back. Old Kanye is gone. Kim Kardashian ruined that man. There's no chance of old Kanye coming back. Kim, any Kardashian touch anybody, they are going to fail, right? Anybody, and everybody be like, what about Kylie and Kendall? Like, what's their last names? Jenner. And don't think that curse ain't slowly seeping over and stuff, man. Because Kylie over there wilding out too, man. Turning herself into a live Barbie doll or whatnot. But I'm just saying, like, Kanye is not going to be old Kanye no more. Y'all should have known that. And I don't know why people jumping on Facebook wilding out about this man's album. I will say people are super overcorrecting and tagging me up in my messages talking about, yo, that old shy Kanye is back. He's not. I don't know if you guys, whoever sent me that, I know who sent it. I'm not going to put them on blast. But they sent me that, and I think they probably just listened to the first couple songs, and they were just hoping that he was back, and they're just like, oh, man, he's back. Like, he's not back, guys. He's not coming back. Old Kanye's not coming back, and I'm cool with that because, I mean, it is what it is. I just know that he's not coming back. I know anytime Kanye's like, oh, I'm putting this album out. You know, when he was doing, what was it, a couple summers ago, he's like, I'm put out Pusha T album, I'm putting out Nas album, I'm putting out new Kid Cudi album, I'm putting my new album out, I'm just like, all these albums were trash. Like, Pusha T's was okay, he had a couple of tracks on there, but I mean, it was like a 7-song EP, and you talk about that's an album. Get out of here with that, Kanye. Nobody's buying that no more, man. Like, what is going on with you? He's done. Kanye is done. Y'all see the shoes he's putting out. Obviously, he doesn't care, right? My man is just, he's on some kind of journey. He's creative mind. He wants to just do his music. Cool. But y'all shouldn't have bought that thing or streamed it thinking that it was going to be Late Registration Part 2. Because that Kanye is dead and gone. He ain't coming back. He not coming back, guys. I'm sorry. But so another thing I want to do, and it's not going to be on this podcast, but what I'm going to do is do a bonus podcast about my review of the movie Joker. And it is going to be full of spoilers. So if you have not seen it, do not listen to my bonus episode that I will be putting out later. Probably, if not tomorrow, then by Sunday. And I will mark it when I post it. When it publishes, I will mark it full of spoilers. Spoiler alert, all that stuff. So if you have not seen it, do not listen to my upcoming review of Joker. I'm going to tell you again. Do not listen to my bonus episode of my review of the movie Joker. Excellent movie, by the way. Excellente. Perfect movie. Like, I almost stood up and clapped after that movie. Joaquin Phoenix. Man. You know what, all the memes of all the people who have played Joker, where it'd be like, some people were born to play this role, and then it's like, you know, they got a picture of the dude who played Joker on the TV show. Then they got Jack Nicholson Jack Nicholson. Then they got Heath Ledger, and then there's like a picture of Jared Leto, and then it'd be like, not you. You know, like I feel bad for Jared Leto, but that was a horrible Joker, bro. Like, it was an unnecessary Joker, a horrible Joker. I know people are like, well, they're just trying to show the organized crime side of Joker. Like, I don't want to see that side. I could have done without that side of Joker. And I think he was kind of organized with his crime in Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. And that was an amazing Joker. And, oh, my God, you guys got to see this movie. I almost messed it up for y'all. Y'all need to see this movie. I think that if I never knew how corny the origin story of Joker in the comic books was until I saw this movie. I will just say that. Like, I prefer this origin of Joker over the comic book one. That's all I'm going to say on that. But look forward to that one. All right, so I'm about to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for listening. I know I talked about some off-the-wall stuff this one, but off-the-wall stuff was happening this week, so off-the-wall conversations had to happen in here. You know I was going to come with that stuff today. But thanks for listening. I appreciate all you guys still listening to the podcast. It's been about 2 going on 3 months. Nope, 2 months because I started in August, I think, yeah. So, yeah, thanks for still rocking with your boy during this ride. Check out my Instagram, Mac _ AKA _ your boy. I have a Facebook page, Mac AKA your boy. And then, of course, again, my YouTube at Mac AKA your boy. That's where all my videos and stuff are at. I do little, small segments of random shit that I find on the internet or whatnot that I think is funny. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments, again, I just want to know you guys' opinions on the things that I talked about, because my opinions are mine. That's why I entitled this, I Said What I Said. Don't at me. So yeah, we'll just keep it at that. So I thank you guys again. Take care. Visit the sites. Leave some comments. Interact with your boy, because I love to interact with you guys. And yeah, y'all take care. Holla at your boy, man.